Well, Shemai, my crafty friends, how are you all doing? I'm delighted that I've actually finished my Project Life album for the year, apart from the last few photos that I'm planning to take. And I just thought, I thought I'd boast about it, to be honest, because this year, I must say, I have had to do a lot of catching up. I know the one time I had to do about 13 weeks worth. So I haven't been on as top of it as much as usual, despite probably having, well, I suppose people might think more time in the house with everything going on. But due to the house build, I've had less time in my craft room lately. And I look back at this photo and I laugh to myself. Hello 2020, our year. Didn't it have a few surprises up its sleeve for us? So I always start my Project Life album with like an opening layout. So this was the one I did. And I actually did it for a challenge to use a big title. And then this one again is all about the future being bright. I bet 2020 was thinking, right, let's show her, because obviously it hasn't been such a bright year for any of us, I don't think. But for this one, I used a big pile of old rub-ons that I've sort of collected or hoarded. And this is what I'm talking about. This is our year, this year. We finally fulfill our dream of building our own home. Exciting times. And I must be honest, that is one thing that has gone well for us this year. So this is how I started my January. As you'll see throughout my album, I don't use the same collection of cards. I've got quite a few cards. I know you'll be surprised that I've said that, but some of them are Stampin' Up, some of them are Project Life ones, some of them are from the Hip Kit. They are a real mishmash. So this is how I started. I don't know how to describe it now. January 2020, I took part in Red January for the first time, which stands for Realistic Exercise Daily. And it really did give me a boost. And I've signed up again this year because let me tell you, I need to get a little bit of exercise in and a little bit of healthy eating done. So that's how I start January. And the great thing is about Project Life is that you document all the things that you don't always want to make a full 12 by 12 page about. So what I did lots of was share my Strava photos or my Polar. I wear an activity watch. So that sort of tracks all my exercise. I took photos of favourite meals. And actually looking back on this, I was thinking to myself, we haven't had vegetable biryani for ages. I'll make that this week. So it's a good way to sort of spur you on. I love time hop photos, and this was one that came up. My nephew must have been about I would say about 3 there, and he's now 18. And I would probably fit on his lap a bit easier. So there I am, talking about how I was running in the most miserable day ever. And back in January, they started to dig out the plot. Now, being in the Welsh Valleys, there are very few flat plots around. So we've had to do a fair bit of digging out. But as I say, it's great that I've had all these Strava things because it does spur you on to look back at what you've done. Then obviously Izzy's got to make an appearance. She made quite a few actually. And January was a special month for us because my mum finally had her hip operation that she'd been waiting for a very long time. And I took a photo of me having a Costa coffee while we were waiting for her to come out of the recovery room. Then we were babysitting Izzy. And she was so sad every day because I was going to work. Obviously, my mum's retired, so Izzy gets to spend the entire day with her. But when she came to us, we were both having to go to work. And, broke my heart leaving her every day, couched up to her teddy bears. And I'd be in work thinking about her constantly. 2nd of February would have been my sister's birthday. I lost my sister when she was 32, so that's 16 years ago now. So every Project Life, I'd make sure I include a photo of her. And talk about my mum coming home. Then, this was a crafting weekend I'd looked forward to for months and months. I love going to Crop in the Country Crops, and this was a retreat, and we were so spoiled. And then the weather had other ideas. And then we had Storm Kira. And they were, quite honestly, the worst driving conditions I've ever driven in. And I had to leave early because I was concerned that the Severn Bridge was going to be closed. But then the weather had even worse things in store for us. So then I'm talking about sort of still enjoying my health kick at this time, apart from having a Domino's pizza, but everything in moderation. Talking about how at this point last year, in February, I was on 750 subscribers and I'm nearly on 1,500 now, which is amazing. I'm so delighted. Thank you all so much. Then, talking about how I'm on a bit of a kick to use my stash up. That continues. Then we had Storm Dennis. If we thought Storm Kira was bad, here came Storm Dennis, and in my local area, lots and lots of people's houses were badly flooded. It was absolutely dreadful. Really sad for them. Raft Foundation started at the house, despite the dreadful weather. Then my mum was recovering well from a hip operation, and for the first time in ages, we got together and made some birthday cards. And Izzy hates it when I go to make cards with my mum because she would rather play. Then I reorganised my craft room, which takes place most holidays actually. And look, I'm nearly on 800 subscribers. Then continuing then with the Raft Foundations, but he struggled a bit in all fairness because of the dreadful weather. I was guest designer for an online crop for Lottie Loves Paper. Then I'm talking about the fact that the weather caused more chaos because I organise a craft club, and sadly I'd made these lemon cupcakes, new recipe, and sadly the weather had other ideas and I had to cancel because I didn't think it was safe enough for the girls to get to us. I had a craft day then with other groups of girls and we had a bit of a laugh there. They were dancing as they do, you know. There's Izzy having a sleepover this time, so she got to go home that time. Then March, talking about trying new recipes. 23 years anniversary with my husband. I can't believe how young we looked. I can't believe how slim I looked. Then my craft room appeared on Ella Bonella, a Facebook group. They were looking at different craft rooms. Then this is like the start of, I suppose, COVID-19 in my album, because I'm talking about how we needed to start teaching the children proper hand washing. So we did lots of lessons on keeping our hands really clean. Continuing with the Raft Foundation for the house. And then this was the toilet roll aisle in Home Bargains, because for some reason people went bonkers for toilet rolls. That blew my mind, I must be honest. And then I started seeing these memes about the pandemic, and this one is, what's it like being a teacher during a worldwide pandemic? You know that scene from Titanic when the ship is sinking but the violinists keep playing? And I still feel a little bit like that now, to be honest. Then I made an album for my niece, so I was continuing to work on that. More work going on at the house. This one, we're going on a bog roll hunt, which I thought was hysterical. One of my highlights was buying myself a slow cooker. Then talking about COVID there, I don't think any of us, I don't think we knew in the UK how much of a massive impact it was going to have on us. I think we started to realise because this one I did about Mother's Day, and Mum had come down for Christmas dinner. Mum had come down for dinner on Mother's Day, and then we'd heard that people with medical issues had to stay home for 12 weeks, and we laughed about it because we thought that they must have made a mistake there. But then she received her shielding letter. My mum's got Crohn's and it can make her really poorly, and she then she's on immunosuppressants, so she was one of the ones that were high risk. So in all fairness to her, she was signed off by the doctor that she could drive her own car again, and then they locked down the country. And as I said, they must have heard about her driving. So a few more memes, and then people started to change their profile picture, talking about how to, looking after everybody, not just ourselves. Then, because I'm asthmatic, I wasn't allowed to go to school. So schools were being told then that they were closing, but I was told I had to stay home. So I did lots. I started then filming loads of YouTube stories for the children and started doing lots and lots of videos, craft videos and things like that for my class. So then I was asked to join to do some guest design work for Thoughtful Studio, which are lovely designer, digital kits. Loads more memes, work at the house, a cyber crop layout I was asked to make a sample for. Then April, I suppose this is when the height of the pandemic was in the UK. But because of the fact that we were still working on our house, construction was allowed to continue, things were going really well. And to be honest, I wasn't seeing anybody apart from my mum, because I am classed as her carer, even though she's doing really well lately. The only people I was seeing were my mum and Lee, and that was it. And that's pretty much the same now, actually. Then I rewrote the words to Let It Go, changed them to Stay at Home, and some of the staff from school performed it. And I say performed because we really went for it. Changed up the house. I made all my class a card, and I had 46 in my class, so there were quite a few cards. Then I had this lovely message off a little one saying that a little girl is enjoying my story videos. I received this fabulous card off my off my head in the post. I'm the deputy head. Then more cards. Baking. I must have been one of the few people with flour in my cupboards. I must have hoarded a bit of flour before. Walls started to arrive on the house. Then fire brigade. Now, in a normal 12x12 album, you wouldn't necessarily do a full 12x12 page of the fire brigade coming to rescue a cat off the roof. As you can see, there is lots and lots of crafting going on because there's not much else we could do. I continued to make cakes for the builders. And treats for the builders. Yeah, Welsh cakes. Welsh cakes are the best ever cakes. I made staff cards then to cheer them all up. Then I started to get back into my running, and from the house I live in now to our current house to the one we're building is about a 5k. So I was often running over there. Then the scaffolding arrived, and that's when you start to think, right, let's see the work. Talking about my kitchen in my house now, which I absolutely love. We built that, and once again, you wouldn't do a 12x12 layout probably of your kitchen. But at least when I look back, I'll think, oh, I love that kitchen. And just lots and lots of things about the house going on. Memes, I must be honest, they were the things that kept me laughing throughout. Izzy is another one that keeps me laughing all the time. Crafting, the house. As you can see, not much else was going on, was it? We were sort of keeping ourselves busy and keeping ourselves sane. Then I did a marathon in May, which was to complete 26 miles in May, not to complete an actual marathon. So this was for a children's hospice, so that kept me busy. 900 subscribers I managed to reach. Then it was VE Day, so we did afternoon tea. We did a virtual afternoon tea. So my mum and myself and Lee ate it together. But we also did an extra 7 and delivered them to my mum's neighbours and to my mother-in-law. Block and beam went on. More cards. Finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Huge thanks to each and every one of you. Health eating continues-ish. Izzy came to school. My husband went in to fit some new interactive whiteboards for the head, and Izzy came and stole a toy. She's good at that. Then I was asked to join the Scrap Academy design team, which I was delighted in. So I've talked about that there. The fact that I've hit 200 followers on Instagram. I'm not great on Instagram, to be honest. I forget to do Instagram. House changes again. We've actually got our walls up in the lounge. When I look back at this, I can't believe how far we've come in a year. My husband probably can. I expect he's felt every moment of it. We did loads and loads of local walks. Found walks that we've never been on before, despite living here for 20 odd years. My dad loved his roses. And before he passed away, he said to my mum and I, don't forget, my girls look after my roses. And year on year, I must be honest, he would be proud. We don't do anything special with them whatsoever. We just let them grow. Then my dreadfully, well, I suppose, tidier cupboard in school. It was a shocking mess. More crafting, more. These ones are actually print-offs from Thoughtful Studio, as are these papers over here. And this is so me. Anyone who doesn't like musicals, because people don't just start singing and dancing all of a sudden in real life, have obviously never visited my house. Because that is pretty much my husband and I. We're forever making up ridiculous songs. And that's been one of the hardest things about this pandemic in school, is that we're not allowed to sing. More work on the house. This was how sterile my classroom became. And I teach nursery reception. And practically all the toys were put away, which was just horrendous to think of. They went back in Wales at the end of June for, I think it ended up with 3 weeks. And was it 3 or 4 weeks? 3 weeks, which seemed a bit pointless by the end. Once again, lots of crafting, a gift from my friends, walks with Izzy, more crafting, more work at the house, stunning views. I love living in Wales. And then I've taken this photo because one day in school, because we were having very small groups of children back, I actually had 3 little boys in my class, and that was it. And let me tell you, it's harder to have 3 children in class than to have 40, because it's so difficult to entertain them and to teach just 3 of them. Gable ends went on the house, which was a massive change. More layouts. Then I was thinking back to happier times last year when I went on residential and did this dreadful mud run. My husband fell off the scaffolding. As you say, the great thing about Project Life is you can talk about all those crappy times in life as well. My bonkers hair, don't even ask there. Meeting my nephew's horse. Put in all these ridiculous stickers all around the school. They lasted 3 weeks, and then we had to take them all up. Finally seeing my craft space for the first time. And then we had the felt and battening going on. Me at the very top of the scaffolding, because I love going to the top of the scaffolding. My husband, on the other hand, is petrified of heights. I wrote a poem for the end of term, which all the staff performed for our Year 6 children. More changes at the house. We bought a tipper. I never thought we'd need one, but we obviously do. The views from our cinema room. Izzy in a wheelbarrow, because every dog should have a wheelbarrow. My new craft space. As you can see, that's a recurring theme as well. Cakes, another recurring theme. Izzy in the van. Izzy at the plot. Layouts. New skylights went in. And it's been fab, because my husband and I were looking through this the other day, and my husband, in all fairness, is very encouraging, but he would usually just sort of flick, flick, flick. Oh yeah, very, very, very nice. And then because of the fact there's all the house, he's then suddenly thinking, wow, so this was May. Wow, we got to this point in June. Look how far we've come. I started to do the couch to 5k because I needed to get myself running again. House changes. Sorting out my hoard of stickers. My nephew and his gorgeous horse Beau. Starting my December daily album, which I have actually completed. So if you are interested, I've got a video below. My 21st wedding anniversary. I actually had a gift voucher from my boss at the end of the summer term for an afternoon tea for 2. Now I usually take my mum, and my husband said, oh, I've never been for an afternoon tea. So obviously guilt trip there, wasn't it? So I had to take him. Then the view from the top of the house, which is absolutely stunning. Izzy, she absolutely loves the van. But at the moment, sadly, is waiting for a new MOT. And this is a nice card. This was actually a cut apart sheet. And I am loving working with Lee. I am liking, doing, listening, watching. This is a really good card that you could make yourself for your next Project Life. I'm going to make one, I think, for next year to carry that on each year. And back in August, I was creating Christmas cards. So if I was making them in August, why was I still so behind with them? The windows went in. At long last, we saw our windows. Couch to 5k now. Lots and lots of things about that. Lots of crafting once again. Online assemblies. Whoever thought that an assembly would involve my class sitting and looking at the screen and the head teacher talking to them through the screen? They think is amazing. Anniversary for my dad. 7 years for my dad. And we organised an afternoon tea, which we ate in the garden. Then Caerphilly, the authority I live in, the council area I live in, went into lockdown. We went into a local lockdown. And I loved this. Caerphilly, the rest of Wales. And I actually had, because I work in a different authority to the one I live in, I had to have a letter from the director of the council for RCT to say that I was allowed to travel to work. Luckily enough, I never needed to show it. Then I became a weekend labourer. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I must be honest. I'm labouring now through the summer holidays, the Christmas holidays, but I love going over there every weekend. The battening is done. And there's all these milestones. Christmas cards, the house, my husband, oh my goodness, you can tell now this video's been going on some time. My nephew turned 18. Cake, curly hair again, different cards, different layouts. Then we started the job of insulation. And let me tell you, we are still insulating, and this started in September. It's a big old house and there's a lot of insulation. So now I started to make little boxes for my class for Halloween. Christmas cards. The anniversary then for losing my sister. The render boarding has been finished. Once again, every year I sort of mark the anniversaries and birthdays. And I think that's the great thing about Project Life, that every year you can do a little bit of a tribute, but you wouldn't necessarily do that in a 12 by 12 album. There we go. 38 Halloween boxes completed. Then I started making some crafty YouTube videos for the children, Halloween themed. More cards, more running, dressing up in school. Then I met Peanut. This is my nephew's miniature Shetland pony. He's just absolutely stunning. Then the quilt foil started, which is more insulation. It'll be the hottest house ever. And probably by the time I move in, I'll be going through the menopause and I'll be absolutely sweltering. If it works as a sauna though and I lose stones of weight, I'll stop complaining. Then this is how my craft room's going to look. My husband did a 3D drawing of it. I did a little craft project with my class. I sent them home with a little craft pack. And then I did a video and they all joined in. They thoroughly enjoyed it. Top coat of render's gone on. I started to do Christmas songs on YouTube, which my class loved because I'm not supposed to sing in school. Lots of running lately. Sadly, that's come to a bit of a halt at the moment. I need to get back to it. Oh, we ordered my kitchen furniture, which is going to be my craft room. Then Children in Need Day. COVID cases rising in Caerphilly again. The week of my birthday. For Mind this year, they did a virtual crafting event and they asked people to join in. And I did it in school. I designed 3 different projects for the children that I had sort of been inspired by on Pinterest. They then brought in £1 and brought a little craft pack. Then 3 videos went live at different times and we raised £93, I think, for Mind, and 93 children joined in, which was fantastic. Our house was finally rendered. Oh, scrapbooking goodies. The new Cocoa Vanilla Merry and Bright. Making money wallets. I got to meet Peanut and Bo and I helped muck them out. Now, if anyone knows me and horses, I was always a bit scared of them, but I've enjoyed helping out. Me and my husband working at the house. Then our angel this year in school has got a little mask. She's COVID ready. Christmas wrapping area in school, my mother's Christmas cakes. Then I took part in an interactive page for December Daily. I did a YouTube hop and there was my page there. I came up with this idea then of all the children in my class having a little stocking to hang on the Christmas tree with the name of the class and the year we made it. So we got busy on those. My mum did all the embroidery, thank goodness. She's amazing. Talking about how cold I was in the garage that day. Then, these are some of the photos that the children sent of their completed cards. Then starts the Christmas pages. I try to keep these quite basic in my project life because I do a December daily as well. So I try to document different stories. Izzy came to watch my husband clean the windows. The finished stockings. Talking about how strange it's been. There's no nativities, no pantos, nothing like that in school. Izzy in her new Christmas coat, which she absolutely hates. Izzy going to choose her new Christmas toys. Me wearing my first Christmas jumpers of the year. Then school was closed early, at the very last minute. So I did live sessions with my class, dressed as an elf, because why wouldn't you? Then, before school broke up, me and 3 other members of staff did a virtual run, dressed in our festive clothes, and we carried Christmas music. We carried a speaker playing Christmas music all through the streets around the school, and we had loads of children out to watch us. We had a festive box, which is like a festive afternoon tea. We had to pull our crackers ourselves because we weren't supposed to be sitting next to anyone. I went on a horse ride. When I say a horse ride, actually, I was sat on the horse and my nephew sort of held a rope because I'm a little bit afraid. Then, once again, insulating at the house. I've been over working with my husband, which has been fab through the holidays. Finally trimmed up. 20th of December. I took it down today, which is the 29th, so it doesn't last long. Did afternoon tea for my mum's birthday. My Christmas presents. My t-shirt for my virtual run. And then, this one is 28th of December to the 31st. I put these on ready because these are some layouts I've done for different YouTube hops and for a cyber challenge. I've got a few more pages to print out, but I've actually... I had this card, December documented, and I've talked about a very different December in school without any Christmas activities, but it's been nice to be in class. Documented, COVID-19 cases have continued to rise in Wales and the UK. However, there is hope in the form of a vaccine. So lovely to see family over Christmas making special memories and plans for the future. And I finished off this year with this page. I've done 2020 highlights and goals for 2021, and I've used a few filler cards. We are the dreamers of dreams and moments like this. So my goals for 2021: continue to run often, to take part in Red January, to declutter the house ready for moving, to lose weight, to make YouTube videos regularly. They've been a bit hit and miss this year. To eat well and to always be grateful. Dreaming big, so looking forward to seeing the house continue to change. It is so exciting to think that 2021 will be the year we finally move into our new house. And then I talked about some highlights, which was my mum having her hip operation, the house emerging from the ground, but I've been so grateful that all my families and friends have stayed safe. And hello 2021, let's hope it is much kinder to us all. And I'm going to finish there and say that I really do hope that 2021 is kinder to each and every one of us. I hope you're staying safe wherever in the world you are. Thank you so much for your support, for your subscriptions, for your likes and your comments. You've made a mad crafter very, very happy. Take care, everybody. Blwyddyn newydd dda, which is Happy New Year in Welsh, and I will see you the other side. I'll see you in 2021. Hwyl fawr, ffrindiau. Stay safe. Bye.